Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and today's video we're going to look at the house, and a lot has been done. I feel like I should be filming more, but I just never seem to leave the camera. Actually, I do have some footage, insert footage of demolishing the den. And we have just stepped into the den. The den is now gone, as we called it. It was a building on the side. It was used as kind of a living room, is the best word for it. And they have it all peeled and disconnected off the side. You can see they're after blocking up the hole that was the fireplace that was in the den, went into the chimney that is the fireplace at the other side, and then on and up and out the stack. But they have that blocked up, and not only is that done, big change with that gone, but also we now have all our floors, all our subfloors are in. So they just have some sheeting up because to try and keep out some of the rain we've been having. But we have concrete floors all throughout the building. So yeah, we're concreted. So next is insulation and underfloor heating. That is next. And also they have taken out, so what was a red brick wall here where we had the red kitchen press, they've taken out the bricks, they've put in the lintels, and they've rebuilt the stonework then on top of it. Very nice tidy job there. So that's going to be Liv's bookshelf that you'll be able to have books on both sides or whatever. I'm going to put some model tractors there. That is my main objective. And we have our floors, we have our subfloors in, and we also now have windows in the kitchen. So this is the kitchen. They finished the subfloor in this only just in the last week or so, which would be the last full week of April. And then today they've knocked out the windows. So there was a cutout already in here, so they only had a few lines of stones on the outside to take out, and still a few bits there to come out, and there's more to come out here. They just started into that one, but the difference it has made, me and Liv were in here earlier in the day, and even now, like, it is dusk, it's 9 o'clock in the evening, and there's so much more light. Like, just to take it in this room, how much light it is in here now. I suppose that, yeah, no, that probably shifts it if I go back into that room out there. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, that's how the house is coming on. It's coming on leaps and bounds. The next thing is they're going to take them out, and then I think after that it's going to go that way onto the new extension, I think is the plan. So yeah, it's amazing to see. It's just, it's, yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just, it's nearly hard to remember what it used to look like, and it's hard to envision what it will look like. It's just that in between, and just cannot wait. Just, yeah, it's great to see it progressing nicely. So anyways, we're back on, and we are back at the house. We have more or less finished the demolition phase. Everything is knocked now. Potting shed there is coming down because the extension of the shed house is going to come out to near enough in line with the old wall that's there, so that's coming out. I'm putting in a carport into all that. That's the plan. But as you can see, the cousin has been busy. He now has redone the gap, which will be coming out into our living room, dining room, through to the kitchen, and it's starting to rebuild the fancy stonework back above it. So it is looking tidy. So it is. Very, very nice. So this has been squared off with concrete, so that I give support to everything, and just to tidy it all off up to the lintels. We'll go in then. The chimney is done, so the chimney now has been reblocked, worked, lintels in, and the new flue liner has been put in as well for taking the chimney for the stove. We'll be putting the stove in there, and we'll be putting back in the cut stone arch that we took out. We'll be going back into that, and then the stove will be going into that again. They've also, big delivery has come yesterday. They're going to start getting the floors in now and putting the back in the floor, so that they can start working on the next level up, doing the roof and that. The only bit of demolition work that's left is just to finish squaring out the hole for the windows in the kitchen. But he's added some light. It's made the kitchen lovely and light. So progress is coming on flying. Now the grain shed is more or less done. It's giving him basically all his time out here while he waits for quotes to come back for the shed for the shop. Yeah. Tidy bit of stonework that. And we are back at the house. And we are just about ready to go at silage. So just put on the moors. But anyways, this is a house video. And things have changed. So you've seen the den coming down. We also have knocked what was called the old potting shed. It is now gone. It was more or less just a garden shed. It was called the potting shed because it's where they used to keep the pots and stuff for sowing. The grain bin that is there, that is sold. I think the cousin's taken down, someone's taken away, or taken down the old pump house and the dog kennel. We're humming and hawing, will we, won't we? But we said we'd take it down and give ourselves more space here. This raise here is a tank my grandfather put in for collecting water. That is going to be collapsed down in on itself. We're going to be leaving the old turf shed because it's a turf shed. The very bottom bit of it used to be where they used to park the car, and there's a loft over, and there's a lot of rubbish and stuff in that has to get cleared out at some point. But yeah, so the plan is our extension is going to be coming out here into this. It's going to be more or less coming up in line with the wall, roughly speaking. And then we're going to put a carport on over that, enough space maybe for 3 cars or that, outside toilet and shower, and a room then to put the pump in and all the well, and probably the junction box or the fuse board for the farm. Because as part of doing everything we're doing here, we're going to be rewiring the farm because there's a junctions there, there's a fuse board there, there's a fuse board in the tractor house, there's a fuse board over in the other shed. We'll get it all straightened out, and then of course then we'll extend when we build a new calf shed there. We'll match where them trees are down there, we'll cover in that space then and include it in the new calf shed. That won't be happening anytime soon. So what's been done since the last time we were looking? Yes, the hair is cut, but they've also finished up here. So this is the new opening, which will join the kitchen to the living room or dining room. They've re-stone worked up there, so there would have been a window up there, so that all had to come down so they could get the lintels in. They've re-stoned it and then concreted the edges here, so it's looking very, very nice and tidy. Very, very nice and tidy. All our floors are in. Don't think there's much else since the last time we were in. I think that was mostly what they were working on. I think the next big thing that is on their list is they're going to start putting in the new floor above me. So new joists and new timber, the whole lot. Because I think the cousin, because the summer so far is looking so good, I think the cousin wants to push on and get all the plastering done inside and out in the house while the weather is good, because the lime plaster needs good weather to be able to dry and cure. So I think that is one of his big objectives for the summer. So that, and kind of next up as well is going to be getting the block work done out here for the extension. So you'll have the extension coming out to there, coming around here, coming back a bit, and then going down this way, and then the den, as we call it, is being rebuilt. We knocked it because the plan was to make a bigger window in the end of it, and we had to change the door, and there was a couple of other bits, and by the time you've done all that, it would just be as cheap to knock it and rebuild it and put modern insulation in it and have a modern part to the old house as well as the rest of it. So that's how we're looking. It is coming on very nicely. So yeah, all in all, things are progressing nicely. The grain shed done now. Cousin can spend more time here, but we're just waiting on some quotations to come back on the shed for the shop, and when that all goes through and it's time to start putting up the shop, this will be finished, left to go at that. So until we're ready to start putting up the shed there, it'll be more or less full steam here at the house. But it's really coming on leaps and bounds, and it's nice to finally say we're more or less finished knocking, and it's time to start putting back. And that is very, very tidy. So that's very tidy. Going out of the wind. So guys, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If any questions or anything like that, please let me know in the comments down below. We'll try and get back to you. But we're coming on, we're getting there. It's mad to see it without a roof, and you can just look, well, you have that, but see right up. It is mad. The roof is also going to be done. He also wants to get that done during the summer while things are dry. So he's a lot to get done. A lot. But he'll get through it. So anyways, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me. Good luck.